Well, I found out about tricking when my friend John, I was hanging out with my friend John, and he had just discovered it. He's like, hey man, I gotta show you this new sport that I think you're really gonna like, that I'm gonna get into, and I think you should get into it with me. And it's called tricking, and he showed me some videos, and I was blown away. I was like, this is the coolest thing ever. I have to do this. I was born to do this. Let's do this right now.
What drew me to tricking and what drew me to like it was when I was younger, I was about 4 years old. My mom, she actually worked at a karate studio, and since then they just traded free lessons for my mom working there. So when I was 4 years old, I started working at this karate studio, or training at this karate studio. And since I was 4, they showed me all kinds of cool stuff, and it was a studio called Red Dragon where they actually taught you a lot of discipline, martial art discipline, but they actually taught you how to perform in front of judges and stuff. So it was one of my first experiences learning that there's more to like martial arts competition than anybody would ever think, than it just being a discipline. So I'm young and I'm going to these karate competitions, and I would see like these martial artists doing crazy stuff, flips and kicks, and and I'm really young, and I thought that was super awesome, but I didn't know that there was an actual following, and it was called XMA, which is pretty much like gymnastics and martial arts put together. As the years went by, I did my competitions, had fun, but not until I got a little bit older, I saw a movie called Ninja Assassin, and in the special features, they talk about people loop kicking, where they do kicks and flips and all this stuff for movie cinema, and I thought it was interesting. And it was about 3 years ago, and I started looking it up on YouTube just to get an idea what it was, and I would look up loop kicking, and all that came up was this martial arts team called Loop Kicks. So I looked up Loop Kicks, and from Loop Kicks, that's when I learned about tricking for the first time, because that's where it pretty much all originated, were these group of kids that just took over martial arts competitions by doing ridiculous amounts of flips and gymnastics, tumbling, plus martial arts. And then I started looking up other videos on YouTube. You can find all of them. And once I learned the word tricking and I typed it into the search bar, just came up with unlimited videos for me to learn from. And that's how I got into tricking. Once I saw that there was a huge following and I wasn't the only one that's into it, I was like, I gotta try to do this. This stuff looks way awesome. Because I could already kick and I could already flip, but why not put them together like these people did? So I thought that's how I first got really initiated with tricking, and in martial arts altogether. Ever since I was young, it just kind of led up to me learning it from YouTube. Once YouTube came on and these people were able to show you how to do it, that's how I was really able to get into it about 3 years ago. And ever since then, I've been addicted to tricking.
The community of tricking is really cool, because everybody that you talk to, has gone through the same kind of struggle that you've gone through. So you never really meet a tricker who can be too conceited or too high horse, because we've all sucked at one point, and I mean, there's no way somebody's gonna be born and can triple cork or do some huge move.
My boyfriend's really into tricking, and he showed me a bunch of videos, and it was just really cool. I've always wanted to learn how to flip, and so he started teaching me, and that's how I got into it. But being a girl, that's not an excuse to not try my hardest or to not put in my 100%. So I don't think there is an excuse of being a girl and I'm not going to be as good as a guy. So I can train just as hard and be just as good. Yes, I think it's encouraging to see other girls, because I don't know, it's more similar body types, and I don't know, we can relate more, and it'll be cool to train with other girls, because I don't know, just girl power.
And eventually got that gymnastics pride, where we would view tricking as bad form gymnastics, tricking is bad, don't trick, it's lousy. Nothing like gymnastics. Gymnastics is the hardest sport. That's where we had that mindset. The gymnast way is the right way, and then tricking is just wannabe gymnastics. That's how it is. See, the thing is, after gymnastics, I learned that tricking and gymnastics, they're two totally different things. It's like comparing hip-hop to ballroom dancing. You can't. Those are two completely different forms of dancing, So gymnastics is flipping, tricking is flipping, but they are two forms, two completely different forms. So you can't compare them.
Tricking is more freestyle based and more based on your interpretation of it, and there's not really a set rule for it. You can kind of just do what you want with it. So as a sport, probably gonna stay underground, which is really cool, because you still get to talk to people about this sport that they don't know.
I think it's pretty underground right now, but it's less underground now than it was 5 years ago. And I think 5 years from now, it'll be even less underground. It might even be mainstream by then, because it's already in lots of media. It's in lots of action movies. So many action movies today incorporate tricking into their stunts. So I think more and more people will know about it over the years. But I don't think it'll really be as like mainstream as parkour is, for instance, for at least like 5 more years, maybe 7 more years. But I don't know for sure. I'm still a relatively new tricker and new to the community of tricking.